Okay, so today, or right now, I'd like to do a little introduction to percents. And we're going to show you a shortcut with numbers ending in 0. So percent, what that really means, right, is per hundred. Okay, because cent means 100. And if you think about it, a century, we have 100 years. With a penny, that's a cent. Another name for that is a cent. 100 pennies is $1. So percent means per hundred. And that's actually what we have here. If you were to count all these squares, we'd have 100. So I like to do this in a little different way than most books introduce it with blocks, with the visual, so that you can get more of like an understanding, and usually that helps people remember a little bit more. So let's just say we have a problem, and we have a address, right, that costs $60. Okay, but it's 30% off. Okay, and we want to know how much money we're gonna take off that dress. Okay, so the way we can show percent, since it means per hundred with these blocks that I'm using, is this is 60. Oh wait, I'm sorry. It's 30% off, right? So this is 30, and we can say this is 30 per hundred, 30%. Okay. And then we know the dress is $60, so we're going to put this block over here. Okay. So what this shows is we have 30% of 60. Okay. And now we just fill this rectangle in. This is going to be a rectangle, so we need to fill in these missing parts right here. Okay. And we can do this actually with 3s, or we can also do it with 6s. It's going to be the same amount anyway. It's easier with 6s because all we need is 3 6s. So we just fill in 3 6s there. And that is our answer. If we multiply 3 times 6, we have 3 6s, we get 18. So we're going to take $18 off the dress. Okay, $18 is the amount we're going to take off. All right, that's not going to be the cost of the dress, right? That's how much we're going to take off the $60 price. Okay. Now, you're probably wondering, well, okay, that looks kind of easy. How do we do this with numbers? Well, one way of doing this, a shortcut, is really looking at what do we really do. We took the first digit. Let me remove this a little bit so you can see the original numbers. These are called digits. A digit is a part of a number. Okay, so we took the first digit, which is 3, and we multiply that by the other first digit of the other number, which is 6, right? We multiplied 3 times 6, and we got our 18. Okay, so that's a shortcut. You can only do this with numbers ending in 0. Okay, so if both numbers end in 0, then you can do this shortcut method with just multiplying the first digit of one number by the other digit of the other number. Now, what I really want you to get from this is a couple of things, and that is how to set up something called a proportion. I'm going to talk about that, and learning how to work with word problems. Okay, so that's all we're trying to get out of this lesson is, just try to make it easy first, and then we'll get into the other numbers. Of course, all numbers don't end in 0, so then we have to figure out, 15% of 75, something like that. We'll work on that. But the first step to that, I think, is really one of the ways we can solve a percent, and this might be a slightly different way of as you've learned it, but it's still one way of doing it. There's a couple ways of doing it. I can teach you those other ways too. But what I'd like to do is to show you how to set this up as a problem. Okay. So if we were going to use numbers, all right, what do we have on top? We have 30. Okay. And what I'm showing you now is how to set up a proportion. A proportion is two fractions that are equal to each other. Okay? So here we have 30 on top, and since I want to make that a fraction, we have 30 per. In this sense, the fraction bar can mean per. It can also mean divided by, but it also means per. So we have 30 per 100, right? 30%. 30 per 100. Okay? And that's equal to, well, we didn't know how much that was in the beginning, so we can put a little question mark there. And we knew the other number was 60, right? We didn't know what this was. Okay? So what I want you to do is just get practice setting up a proportion. So the percentage, okay, is always going to go here on this side. Okay, the numbers, usually money, is going to go on this side. Okay, so we have 30%, 30 per 100, so it's going to be 100. And notice that typically the bottom numbers are going to be the bigger numbers. These are going to be the smaller numbers. Okay, it doesn't make sense that this number would be bigger than this one because we're taking money off of this number, right? We're taking some money off of that because it's 30% of this. Okay, so then all we do is just multiply the first digit of each number diagonally, and we get 18. So that's the answer to our problem, is 18. Okay. Let's do another one, and we'll just do it with the numbers. Okay. Alright, so let's say we have some shoes. And they cost, I don't know, $50. Okay, but we know that they are 20% off. Okay, so we make our proportion. And we know that this number is going to go on top, 20%. Okay, again, this is the smaller number. This is going to be the number that we don't know. We don't know how much 20% is yet because we haven't figured it out. So that's going to be a question mark. But we do know that the shoes cost $50. Okay? Again, the smaller numbers are on top, the bigger numbers are on bottom. Alright? All we do is multiply the first digit of this number right here by the first digit of this number. 2 times 5 is 10. Okay? So we're going to take $10 off of the shoes. Okay? So that's what we're going to do. That's the answer to our problem. It's $10. Okay? All right. Let's do slightly a little harder thing, which is here we in both of these problems we were trying to find out how much we're going to take off, right? But the GD will ask you how much are the shoes going to be now, right? So if we say what's the price of the shoes after you take 20% off of them, what are we going to have to do? We're going to have to subtract, right? So the price that you will pay for the shoes will be $40. Okay, because we're taking 10 away from 50 and we get 40. Okay, let's do one more problem. Okay, let's say you're at a restaurant, your bill is $30. Okay, so that's your restaurant bill. Okay, and you want to leave a tip of 20. I'm sorry. You want to leave a 20% tip. Okay. Set the same thing. We set the portion the same way. Okay. 20%, that goes first. 20. Again, it's 20% or 20 per 100. And that's equal to, well, we don't know how much the tip is. Okay. Again, that tip is going to be a smaller number, right? Should be the smaller number. And then over 30. 30 is the amount of how much your food costs. Okay. Again, we multiply the first digit of this number by the first digit of this number. 3 times 2 is 6. So you're going to leave a $6 tip. Okay. Now what a GD will probably ask you is how much is the total bill? Okay. So you have to do this step first to find out what the total bill is. This is not the total bill. This is just your tip. Okay. Total bill is we're going to have to add 6 to how much the food costs. So the total bill would be $36. Okay. So we got some problems prepared for you. If you want to look over this, and hopefully this is helpful, and then do the problems. If you're wondering, well, what are we, what are we going to do with the other numbers that don't, that do not end in 0? There's something slightly different we're going to do. It involves a couple steps, but I just wanted you to get this down right now, setting up the proportion, and then doing the word problems. Okay, and then we'll go on to harder numbers, basically. Okay. So again, a proportion is two fractions. They're equal to each other. We set them up by the percent over here, and the numbers, usually money, are over here. The smaller numbers are on top. The bigger numbers are on the bottom. All right. I hope you do well at solving the problems, and just let me know if you need any help.